Welcome back, everybody. Well, a report from the United Negro College Fund says that only 10% of all African American students are actually enrolled in historically black colleges and universities, and that are also called HBCUs. And with more tech companies offering incentives for students to go to these schools, we want to know if companies like Apple should expand their initiatives to find more black graduates. And Michael Ellison is joining us now for this discussion. He is the CEO of CodePath that provides college students with coding courses and career support. Thank you so much for joining us.
Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
So let's talk about Apple first. You know, they have a coding partnership with several HBCUs. We talked about it when they first came out. Can you explain a little bit more about why their push should also focus on students outside of these HBCUs?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big supporter of HBCUs. Historically, they've been such incredible parts of their communities, reaching into high schools. Now, I think the challenge that we have, if we are trying to diversify our nation's most competitive roles, most lucrative roles, is that the majority of black students across college campuses, they're not at the HBCUs. And then if you look at the specifically very lucrative software engineering field, then it's even a smaller percentage of the total number of black computer science graduates. So if we are actually serious about representation in tech, we simply need to support where the students are. We have to invest in the pathways that are going to lead for the majority of our community to be able to have access to those roles. So I think, you know, when companies like Apple are investing in HBCUs, I think it looks good. But if you're looking at long-term, what is going to hit the results that impact our community the most, it's one of several strategies that we need to implement.
So do you think that these HBCU students are actually taking advantage of these opportunities from the tech giants like a Google or an Apple?
Well, you know, getting down to the actual numbers, you know, a lot of the computer science programs across HBCUs, you're looking at a couple of students, you're looking at maybe 100 plus students, say like Morgan State University. You have a large number of freshmen, you have a much smaller number of seniors. So, you know, there's a lot of students that are coming into these computer science programs feeling like they're not supported, and there's not yet the infrastructure, the number of professors, the number of mentors, role models on these campuses to help to support them. So you see large black populations, you see very low numbers that are taking advantage, I think, of a lot of these opportunities, which to me feels like it's over-indexing on the smaller set of the population when we could do better to reinvest in figuring out how to change some of these default starting points, default pathways.
So what are some of the in-demand jobs with tech companies, and are HBCUs producing graduates that can actually fit these roles?
Well, I mean, beyond HBCUs, just college computer science education hasn't changed in years and years and years. So when you talk about building web applications, building mobile applications like iOS or Android, whatever, most schools in the country, including HBCUs, don't have programs as part of their curriculum that are helping to prepare students for the jobs of tomorrow, the jobs of today, which it's everything that you know that you're interacting with. Imagine going to a top CS program in this country and you can't build a web application upon graduating, even though you're a straight A student. So there's this disconnect that it's impacting HBCUs, it's impacting all college computer science programs, which is a big part of why CodePath even exists, because we're designed to try to bridge the gap between what the major technology companies expect and then what these schools are trying to expose their students to.
So ultimately, when we talk about these tech companies like Apple and Google having these certain initiatives, do you think that this is just a PR stunt, that they're just trying to say, we checked the box, we did what we were supposed to do? Or are these tech companies really caring about hiring black students and incorporate more diversity within their company?
I've seen some promising signs to indicate that this is multi-year, this is longer term. There's more conversations about outcomes and timelines to get to those outcomes. But in my opinion, it's still in the very early days, where the starting point from a diversity strategy is, oh, great, we need to hire more black people, we're not doing a good job. And then you start to go to a couple of HBCUs. And then you realize that there's a lot of these community college and large state schools that actually have the majority of the population. But then how do you reach them? Well, guess what? You need to invest in the faculty, you need to invest in curriculum, and you also need to invest in developing programs that bridge that gap. I'm talking about early internship programs, apprenticeship programs, reskilling, upskilling programs. Some companies are getting that, but it still is very early, and it's not yet to the point where I'm not just providing lip service, I'm actually committed. It's not quite yet there, but I do see some promising signs.
Well, you know what, since black students are spread out over different institutions, should efforts to find those interested in STEM and technology start at the high school level instead of the college level?
Well, let's actually flip that.
Okay.
Instead of saying, well, you already have to be interested, what if that default starting point on a college campus made you feel like you had a sense of belonging in tech? If it inspired you from there? Yes, let's go back into high school, but I firmly believe that we can do a tremendous job of helping to get more underrepresented minorities to be excited about tech, because tech has so many different flavors. But we take a one-size-fits-all approach to introductions right now, which is through a weed out course, an introduction to CS weed out course on a lot of college campuses, when instead we can have exposure that is more multidimensional, that helps to connect you, that helps to build community, that helps expose you to role models and shows you what the path in tech could look like for you. So I actually think it's the responsibility of educators and of these companies to prove to these students that tech is the right place for them. And let's show you how we can get you from the first step to the second step to reaching your full potential.
Well, we're happy that there are people like Michael Ellison out there making sure to help these students navigate this tech world. Thank you so much for joining us today.